Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. It's the last show of the week. What a week it's been. A bit down on the week, actually, but it's okay. We bought more, we bought on the dip, and we're all good. But you can see I've got Snowflake on the screen. That's because I'm about to do a review on Snowflake. So without further ado, shall we make a start? Shall we? I think we should. Let's get straight into it. We're going to do Snowflake and review. This is for Robbie Cooper and Stacey Bailey. Okay, this was requested by a member, two members in fact. So if you are a member of my channel and you request a review, you can have it. Got the heads up from the extra channel here, nice and early. See the benefit, Seth Houston? See, got the heads up. There you go. That's exactly why it exists. It's good, isn't it? And some big announcements coming for the extra channel very soon as well. You don't want to miss that. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Time for another stock review, this time Snowflake. We're talking S-N-O-W, Snow. What's it all about? Well, in this review, we are talking AI once again. So here comes our robot. Can we make some money with this? We're reaching out together, looking at the chips, the AI, the data. It's all swirling around in our heads. Can we make money from this stock? At the end of the day, it's all about making money. We're investors after all. So can we do it? Well, let's get straight into it. Let's take a look and see if you can make money from this stock. Now, in this review, you're going to get the most honest review you've ever seen on YouTube, TV, and Rumble, because everything here is real, genuine, using the most advanced algorithmic software. No one here pays me or sponsors me by the company to talk about it, but we are going to share the balance sheet, the profit, the loss, the insolvency score, giving you the inside trading. We're going to give you all the facts. We're going to give you even things like we're going to take a look at the website, the latest news, back test against the S&P 500, a corporate overview, big events coming up. All of this stuff you don't want to miss. It's all happening here on this review. We also have a Meet the CEO series as well, where you can invite the CEO onto the show. I'll explain to you how that happens in a moment. Shall we get into it? Shall we see if we can make some money? So first thing you got to do, of course, is like the video, subscribe, and support the channel. If you leave me your comments below, I will reply to all your comments. Now, we will start off, that's all the members' comments, that is. We will start off nice and simple, basic stuff, and then we'll get more and more depth deep into it, and we'll see if this is a good stock for you to buy, own. Full disclosure, I only own the S&P. I don't own anything else. The reason for that is so I can be fully impartial. I took the decision to sell and get out of the way of the robot. Here he comes again, look. I told you I got out of the way of the stock so I can be honest and real, and there's no influence here whatsoever, just trying to give you the information. Now, also using this software, it's Alpha Spread. I do use this software. You can get a free version of it. And my members can get a free version or a premium plan, which basically makes my membership for free if you get the premium plan. So it's all good stuff. Also below in the description of the video is information on how to invite the CEO onto the show, and I'll come on to that in a moment, so bear with me. Okay, without further ado, let's get straight into it and see if this makes sense for you. Okay, what is Snowflake? Snowflake, as you can see, opened back here in 2020. And we popped up, we fell all the way back down, we popped up, we fell all the way back down, and it's been trading quite aggressively. So it's a trading stock. Certainly opportunity here to make money short term. Is it a good investment long term? Well, let's have a little look. Snowflake Inc. provides data cloud warehouse software. This includes a data cloud and ecosystem where Snowflake customers, partners, data providers, and data consumers can break down data silos and derive value from the rapidly growing data sets in secure, governed, and compliant ways. Its platform supports a range of use cases, including data warehousing, data lakes, data engineering, data science, data application development, and data Sharing. The cloud native architecture consists of 3 independently scalable layers across storage, compute, and cloud services. The storage layer ingests massive amounts and varieties of structured and semi-structured data to create a unified data record. The compute layer provides dedicated resource to enable users to simultaneously access common data sets for many use cases without latency. The cloud services layer optimizes each use cases performance requirements with no administration. Snowflake was founded by Martyn, we don't know. I'm going for Marcin Zukowski, Thierry Cruans, and Benoit Dagaville on July 23rd, 2012, and is headquartered in Bozeman, MT. The listed name is Snowflake. Right, Montana, based in the United States of America, Bozeman, Montana. Okay. What about the employees? 7,004. Now the CEO is Sridhar Ramanswamy. Sridhar, we'd like to invite you onto the show. Now, the way we do this, we have a Meet the CEO series. I actually never message anyone. I don't believe in selling myself to be on the show. How it works is investors come to you and say, you can be on the show and share your news to the world and tell everybody all about it. If it's good, we'll tell the world. If it's bad, we'll also tell the world. We're here to be the most honest channel on YouTube TV. And the CEOs that have been on our show and the ones that are coming up are coming on because they prefer being here than Bloomberg and CNBC. They've already told me that because they like the honest approach and the conversation and all the rest of it. We're here to help people, not to promote businesses, but we want you to do well. We want to help you grow and all the rest of it. But we just want to report the facts to people that they can make wise investments. So I'm sure I'd love to have you on the show and hear all about it. So how could we get you on the show? Well, you will hear from our investors, and our investors who are listening to this now, create a a social group around this stock. Perhaps you might put together a Facebook page or a Reddit channel or whatever it might be, and I'll provide you with the reviews. I'll even cover the earnings if you ask for it. And you can have all the information. And then below in the description of this video is also a invitation to the CEO video. You might like to send that with this video to the CEO or investor relations, or put it in a group and share it around, tag them in it. Many ways. And once they correspond with you and get interested, then put them on to me and I'll get them on the show. But I'd love you to take charge of it all and be passionate about the company that you care about. All right? Okay, now for buying this on margin, it's 25%. Even though it's been quite volatile, that's quite a surprise to me. I thought that would have been higher than that. So that's good. Maybe it's a good stock. It's just being traded, but it's still got a good foundation. That's always nice to see. A stock that is trading a lot presents opportunity, but 25% is the lowest level of margin. So that's good for the maintenance. 51 billion is the market cap. 52-week high 237, 52-week low 135. So you can see there's a big jump there. No dividend. It's purely a growth stock. 5.94 million. So it's not huge amounts of volume, and the volume today is just below average at 3.77. Okay, what have we got? Jim Cramer shares his thoughts on J&J, Ollie's Bargain Outlet, Fox, and Snowflake. Jim Cramer, there's a ETF against Jim Cramer. People actually bet against what he says because more often than not, he is there to shout booyah, throw little silly toys around the studio and create dramatic TV, but it doesn't really, it's not always the best information, if we're honest. It does get people excited, and CNBC and Jim make a lot of money out of that. I don't know how much money the investors make, because more often than not, he's wrong. But so we're not going to take a listen to what Jim Cramer says. That would be a complete waste of my time. Anyway, analysis. Let's have a look. Buy strong. We got a strong rating. Now, this was done by Morningstar. I don't take what they say either, because they're influenced and they're paid to say these things. So we don't take too much credence in this either. 67% are saying buy, hold 28%, no, very few are selling. The bulls are saying Snowflake could expand to other multi-cloud data needs, pushing spending per customer to greater heights. Okay. The bears are saying migration of existing workloads to the cloud could occur at a slower pace, extending the length of Snowflake's unprofitable years ahead. Okay, so let's have a look. Right now, though, that was a bit disingenuous for the bears to say extending the length of Snowflake's unprofitable years ahead. That's not even true. Extending the length of Snowflake's unprofitable years ahead. Well, that's not actually true. We're not a negative stock. We are actually a profitable stock. Here are the earnings, and the company actually makes money. So that's Morningstar. Bears talking absolute nonsense. They're not losing money at all. They're actually making money. Anyway, there you go. That's what you get when you pay a professional for a review. And the earnings are actually moving up as well. So, yeah, that's why you don't pay for a review. You come to me who does it for free. Yeah. J.D. Power, best cars in the world. If you're a Chevrolet, guess what? Chevrolet pay them to say that, and people buy into it. It makes me laugh. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, Wall Street keep getting this wrong. That would kind of explain why that statement occurred there, because these analysts are trying to sort of say doesn't make any money. Well, anyone who can read can see, well, yes, they do, and we'll come on to the money in a minute. So that puts me straight on the defensive and looking for the opportunity, because I like anything that reveals facts rather than nonsense. Anyway, we are making money here, and we're consistently beating Wall Street. Wall Street are not getting it right at all, and in fact, Wall Street are getting it worse and worse and worse. We're actually beating expectations by some range. Remember, it's not the company saying they're doing this, it's Wall Street predicting this, and then that's what they're doing. So there you go. Very, very nice indeed. The fact that they've beaten earnings and consistently, that's very, very good. You've got to say a new company that's consistently going up, beating earnings every time, it's got to be good, right? I like that. So far, it's a tick with me. I'm not going to give it a buy yet. I don't know anything about it. We're working on that. But anyway, who else are you in bed with? Shopify, CrowdStrike, Datadog, Zscaler, Twilio, and Salesforce. Now, honestly, I've not reviewed any of those stocks, so I don't know any history about those. So I don't know how the stock will trade from the point of view of the company it keeps. I don't know. I've not looked at any of these. I've not reviewed them. I have reviewed about 120, 130 stocks, but I haven't done these. So I honestly don't know. So if I don't know, I'll say I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Can we make money from this stock? Let's go and look over at the numbers and see if it all stacks up and you can make money. So far, I don't know, but the earnings is interesting. The fact that Morningstar is saying that the bears are saying it's losing money when it'll continue losing money makes no sense to me at all. Anyway, let's go. First of all, let's do a back test against the S&P 500. Let's go and look at that. Now, if you put $10,000 here in 2021, you've gone from 10,000 to 5, nearly 6. You've lost about 40% of your money over that period of time. It's in blue. It had a nice little pop and then fell away. You can see it's very volatile because up and down, the S&P is a little bit more flat. It's hard to tell over just those few years. If it was extended out, you'd see that. But here, you don't see too much of it. But the S&P, if you put $10,000, you'd now have $14,000. You made a nice little profit and you'd have done very well indeed. Now, remember, companies like this are already in the S&P. You've got things like Google, you've got Amazon. They're all data companies. They're bigger than this. They could buy it out. Maybe they invest in it. I don't know. There are, Apple to that extent. There are other companies already in this field, already in the S&P in a basket ETF. So you've got that safety net, if you like. But you can see how it compares to the S&P. There was some volatility there in 21. It's not a COVID-related macro condition, but I'd like to see what spiked that. Now you can find that out, but go into the investor pages and see of the company at snowflake.com and see what happened there and what changed, and then you can see if it's going to happen again. So I'd be looking at that if I was looking to invest. Anyway, let's go to the website. Nice clean website. It's all in this light blue, sky blue color. Let's learn a bit about the company. It's all about data, of course, and the cloud and all the rest of it. So let's have a scroll down. Let's see what jumps out to us. If anything at all jumps out. Leading companies lead with Snowflake. There we go. AT&T, Canva, Weld, other 7,200 brands mobilize their data with Snowflake. I think I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. I might edit that out. Probably won't. Haven't got time. I'll be on the next review by the time I get a chance to edit this out. All right, Canva. Canva, Capital One, Albertsons. We've got MasterCard. We've got Adobe, Komatsu, Roku, DoorDash, Sainsbury's. A lot of English companies in here. I'm noticing Power School, Microsoft, ExxonMobil, University of Notre Dame. So I think it goes without saying. Cisco, they do have a wide customer base. That's very, very good to see that these companies have entrusted their business in their data with this company. Always good to see. Right, we like that. 2 ticks so far. Good on the earnings, the consistent beating, and Bears trying to say the opposite. That always puts me on the back foot. And I like the customer base. Okay, corporate overview. Let's have a quick look at the corporate overview just for a moment. I'll zoom it in as much as I can. Snowflake's founders started from scratch and built a solution that would harness the immense power available in the public cloud. They created the data cloud, a global network where thousands of organizations mobilize data at near unlimited scale, concurrency, and performance. Inside the data cloud, organizations unite their siloed data, easily discover and securely share governed data, executive, diverse, and analytic workloads, wherever data or users live. Snowflake delivers a single and seamless experience across multiple work clouds. Snowflake's platform is the engine that powers and provides access to the data cloud, creating a solution for applications, collaboration, cybersecurity, data engineering, data lake, data science, data warehousing, and Unistore. Snowflake's vision is a world with unlimited access to govern data, so every organization can tackle the challenges and opportunities of today and reveal the possibilities of tomorrow. Quick company highlights before we go over to the numbers. Company's highlights. Remaining performance obligations, 5.2 billion, 691 Forbes Global 2000 customers, 4.2 billion in daily queries, 461 1 million plus customers, and 131% net revenue retention rate. Okay, some good highlights there. We'll cover the news in a moment. We'll do it this way. We've got the data event of the year about to happen. Always good. Events and news is always good for the sentiment of a stock. It can drive interest towards it. Snowflake is coming home to San Francisco. Snowflake, that's happening in 2004. I think it's June, actually. Let me just, is there a thing here somewhere? I was just looking at it earlier. I've apologized if I've forgotten. There we go. June, yes, June the 3rd to the 6th. June the 3rd to the 6th. So in the summer, this is happening. At cutting edge innovation, the data cloud has to offer. Discover the latest in AI, Gen AI, Apache Iceberg, streaming privacy, preservation, collaboration, flexible programmability, application development, and much more. Here, valuable insights. Now we can obviously watch this online as well, and maybe we'll cover this if this stock gets a lot of interest and our members request an earnings for it or a special event. We can cover it, and as we start to rank on YouTube and Google, more people will learn about this stock. And we always rank number 1 or 2 for our stocks, as we do for nearly everything now. So that's why we're growing so quickly. So maybe we'll cover that. Right. Some latest news just out a couple of days ago, so I wanted to bring this to you. Exclusive, direct-to-consumer vitamin brand Ritual integrates data. Basically, this is another customer now. I don't need to read through all of this, but this is another customer that's using the services of Snowflake. So a direct-to-consumer DTC startup is leveraging data automation to support expansion with brick and mortar partners. Chain store. Age recently had a conversation with Brett Tranny, director of analytics at Ritual, to learn more about how the digitally native health and wellness company specializing in a variety of women's vitamins is successfully selling its products via brick and mortar retailers, including Target and wholesale, with data support from Snowflake and Crisp. I won't read the rest of this because this is more to do with the company, but again, it's Snowflake sharing the information about another partner using their services. So far, a lot of great companies are using the services. We've seen the earnings go up. Things are looking good. Good to other companies that are associated with this stock is good. So things looking good so far. We like data. We like AI. We believe that this is the way forward. But can we make money from the stock? We're now going to go over to the numbers now and see if it all adds up and our robots coming together, so we get out of the way quick. See if we can make money, and let's look over the numbers, shall we? Okay, so without further ado, that's what we're going to do. So here we go. Let's look at the numbers, starting off with the intrinsic value. Now, if you like this video, please do click subscribe and ring the bell. We are live 12 hours a day. We aim to be the most honest, real channel on YouTube TV. That's what we're here to do, and talk about great companies and bring the facts, information to the world. Okay, let's have a look at the intrinsic value. Currently, we are at $153. Now, AI, all of this stuff is always overbought and overpriced, because just like Nvidia, for example, people want to be in because they know where it's going. However, it can't always fulfill its price. It can't run forever and ever and ever. If stocks are ahead of themselves too much, it's just like saying, would you pay $10 for a can of Coke when it's only worth $1? Well, if it's the only can of Coke on planet Earth and everybody was fighting over it because everyone was dying of thirst, maybe it's worth more money. But we're certainly not struggling for data. Everyone's doing it. So there's AI stocks coming out of our ears. So we've got to be careful not to overpay for stuff. Now, things will grow into their prices, but I have a rule that I only pay 25% overvaluation for a growth stock. A growth stock that can grow into its price, I will pay 25%. Overvaluation, that's it. Not anymore, certainly not 76. So this might be a great company, but it's too expensive right now when it comes to the intrinsic value. Do we have any warnings? No, we don't. The intrinsic value is regarded as reliable. What is intrinsic value? That is what an intrinsic value is. Let me zoom in. You might want to pause that and take note of why I use this and what an intrinsic value is. It's not the be and end all. It won't tell you whether you should buy it or not. It tells lazy people whether they should buy it or not. A bit like those that use Morningstar, going, oh yeah, it's all rubbish, they're not making any money, when all we've got to do is look down and see that they actually are making money. But there you go, nevertheless. So intrinsic value is too expensive. So I like this company. I like this type of company, rather. I haven't looked at the company yet in detail, but I like so far what I've heard, but it's too expensive. Just like Nvidia, I wouldn't buy Nvidia. It's why I only own the S&P. I want Nvidia in my portfolio through the S&P, but I want the protection of the S&P, not the Nvidia itself on its own because it's too expensive, right? It can go down 50% overnight, really. Anyway, whereas the S&P is not going to do that. Okay, moving on down. Azakar, thank you for your subscription. This is being made during a live video. So the intrinsic value would suggest it's too expensive. Let's look now at the financials. Tap the like button. I will reply to all of my members, every single one of you. Okay, let's have a look here now. Revenue. 2.8 billion. Yes, MSK during a live video makes a very good point. I'm not trusting Alpha Spread's intrinsic value after Fisker. If it doesn't have enough info data to make an intrinsic valuation estimate, then don't make one. Declare insufficient data. Well, that's exactly what it does do. MSK. I want to answer that. That's why I've just said the intrinsic valuation is the standard for measuring a business, but not on its own. People just look at a stock price, see it as a penny stock and go, it's cheap. And that's the worst thing to do. People look at intrinsic valuations and go, well, the intrinsic valuation says it's too expensive or it's too cheap, and they use that. You got to put the whole thing together. If it was as easy as that, everybody would just be buying the right stock at the right time, which means everybody would be buying the wrong stock at the wrong time. It doesn't work that way. Intrinsic value is part of the puzzle, but not all of it. And intrinsic values are are correct even when the stock price, like Fisker, doesn't do too well, because the intrinsic value was looking at the orders, the balance sheet, the money, the customers, all these things, and it makes sense. But it doesn't protect the company from volatility, doesn't protect the company from sentiment and changing of markets at all. It doesn't do that. It simply presents the valuation at the time, looking at the numbers that we have at the time. There was nothing wrong with the intrinsic value of Fisker, but none of that took into consideration the extra conditions that occurred outside of it. Hence, short interest and everybody dumping the stock and all the rest of it. Bad publicity and sentiment and so on and so forth. So intrinsic value is a great tool, but not to be used on its own. I wanted to just challenge that question there that was presented from MSK. Oh, and by the way, an intrinsic valuation here is going to be universal. It's not, my intrinsic valuation is not different than anybody else's. It's all calculated the same way. Like these numbers, balance sheets, profit, loss, they're all balanced. They're all the same thing. Every website, every outlet will be the same. Alpha Spread's the same. Everybody pulls in to the global resources for these companies and displays them in their own portal, their own website, but they're all pulled from the same place. You're not going to get one balance sheet reading from one place and one from another unless it's been updated. But that's a completely different thing. Anyway, looking at the financials, moving on now. I just want to make sure we answer all the questions. Revenue is 2.8 billion, up 7% on the most recent range, and expected to climb going forward. Not much of an S-curve though, but nevertheless, a good increase going forward. That's nice. Up 7% on the most recent range. Very nice indeed. That was of January 2024. So we're expecting a new earnings soon. And if my members want to cover the earnings and do a super chat, we may cover the earnings if it's popular. Operating income is negative 2%, but we are expecting to see an operating income very much swing into an S-curve. Look at that. That's very nice through next year. Very good indeed. Net income, same thing. Up 4% and expecting an S-curve style. Very, very good indeed. I like that very much. I like that. Good stuff. Okay, what else have we got? That's really important. Investing cash flow down 240%. That is a positive, as you can see. That's very good. Operating cash flow, very nice indeed, up 18%. That's very, very good. All good so far. So far, I like it. It's a bit expensive, but I like the business. I like the company. Let's look at the balance sheet. Is it well funded and does it have too much debt? Let's have a look. 8.2 billion in assets, okay, of which 3.8 is cash. It's very well funded. Now, we've always said we don't like a company that has loads of cash and doesn't know what to do with it. Say if you have a small cap, let's say you have a company of like 50 million, let's say, for example, and all it has is cash at 50 million, that's great, but that's not a lot of money for for many companies to grow publicly, globally around the world. It's a very, very small company. This company's got 8.2 billion. It's a decent sized company, and 3.8 is cash. That's very, very good. Very, very good indeed. And 3 billion liabilities. If we were all debt, it could pay its debts off tomorrow. So, I hardly need to look, do I? No long-term debt, no short-term debt. Very, very good. It's going to have a great, great balance sheet. It's going to have, I would imagine, an 80% balance sheet, bright green. I don't know. I haven't looked down here yet. You're looking at the same screen as I'm seeing. That's the bottom of my screen. But I'm predicting we'll see an 80% balance sheet, which is good. But no debt. So that's very, very good. Very, very good. But what's the margins, though? What's the efficiency of the company? There you go. It's got proper software management margin, 68%. You might want to compare it to the competition, though. Perhaps Google, perhaps Apple, Amazon, all these people, Microsoft. You want to compare it to them and see what their margins are like. So not too bad at all. 68% gross margin. All right. Operating margin is 39% negative. Net margin is negative 30%. But you can see it moving very much in the right direction. All of this is moving in the right direction. So far, I'm liking it. That balance sheet has given me a massive tick. So far, it's a stock I'm interested in. I can't say it's a buy, though, because it looks expensive. But is it expensive? We don't know. Let's find out. Let's move on down. There you go. I said 70. Did I say 70 or 80? Can't remember now. 72. Very, very good balance sheet. It's not going bust. You could invest in it knowing it's going to be around for a while. It's and I say a while because anything can go bust eventually. 72%. 39% profitability score isn't the greatest, but it's turning green and expecting to go higher. Everything ticks off there. Exceptional 3-year revenue growth, positive gross profit, positive free cash flow, and exceptional revenue growth forecast. I like all of that. It's a definite one to consider to buy now. Just is it the right time? Well, let's have a look at it. On the worst case scenario, it's got a 18% downside. 18% downside, worst case scenario. Well, if you overbought the stock, and let's assume it is expensive, and it drops by 18%, it's still regarded as expensive, and that's the worst case scenario. I can live with an 18% because I would expect it to go down 18%. It's too expensive. So worst case scenario, 18% is fine. If that was 100% down or 80, 90, whatever percent to bring it in line with the price, then you definitely want to hold off. But if the worst case scenario over the 12 months is 18% down, when we are still in a bull market, I regard that as not likely to happen, and I can live with it because the average is 46%, way above the S&P. Very good. And what about the high? 309%. This is very, very good. So yeah, I like it. Could I buy it at this level? I think if I was buying it now, I'd buy a couple of marker shares, get my name on the board, look for some drops. There are always drops in the stock. You've seen it. And each time we get a little nibble, just buy a bit more. Allocate yourself, say let's say you were spending $1,000. You got $1,000 you want to invest in this company, and you go, all right, then I'll buy $200 worth. Edwin Chow, thank you ever so much for your subscription made during a live video. If I've got $1,000, I might put $200 in. Leave the other 800, wait for a 1 or 2% drop, 5% drop, maybe buy another couple of hundred. If you get a 10% drop, spend the rest of the 1,000. I think that might be the way forward. I could live with that. So that's how I would buy it. So now I'm moving to, yes, it's a buy for me, but that's how I would buy it rather than just, yes, I'd buy it all at this level. So yes, we're now moving to, it's a buy from me, but it's a buy by allocating a percentage of my allocation An allocation of my allocation, yeah. About 20% of my allocation would be spent now and then try and chisel down on the way down. If not, don't chase the stock. That's how I would do it. Now then, the competition. I'm going to give you a link above my head and down below in the description. You might want to look at this and look at compare the competition's margins, primarily the margins, see how it compares. All right, the ownership. Now, insider trading. Insiders have been selling the stock. They bought 5.8 million over the last 12 months, hardly any at all, and sold 492. 492. The good news is, and don't forget, big companies do have where they what they do sell. I mean, Google are always selling on the inside, and every time we've seen it, and I've reported this, and I've learned to my cost. I've reported saying, oh, okay, insiders are selling on Google, the price is going to go down, and it keeps on going up. Big businesses like this can sell millions of shares inside. It's part of taxing, part of basic structure that they do regularly. It just looks so dramatic, but actually they can afford to do it. But what is interesting, though, is the most recent is we're buying back in again. Always nice to see. So there you go. We're buying back in. Again, so $5 million US dollars has just been bought in here, and this was done by Ramaswamy Sridhar. That name rings a bell. Do I know that? Do I know that name? That name rings a bell to me. Anyway, it's for some reason I'm thinking I know that person. Anyway, so look, we've got people buying back in again. Not too much, but the beginning. And that's recently. That's March the 25th. That's just a couple of days ago after this news came out. So I can't. That's encouraging too. I don't mind this. Because we're now starting to see buying-ins coming in again. Maybe this is the start of a trend of investors buying back in on the inside. So it's a buy from me. Like I've said, how to buy it. Let's carry on. Short interest, no short squeeze. Hardly anyone is downing this. Now, that's interesting because AI, that is expensive, can have a short interest element attached to it. And there isn't one. So people don't really want to bet against it. They don't want to bet against it. And that's really, really important. That is an important point. And normally I don't do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. If we look at NVIDIA, say, for example, another tech stock, not the same, I agree, but nevertheless, I want to share with you. Now, we know, look at this, look at NVIDIA, look at the S-curves, all of this, right? Let's see if there's any short interest there. Because when a stock is really overbought, it can have some short interest. Look, it doesn't. People are really believing in AI. When a stock is massively overbought, and let's be honest, NVIDIA is, no matter how good you think it is, it's great, but it's being bought for the future. It's got 1%, 1.26. So as you can see, going back to our original stock here, is we don't have much short interest because people really believe this is the way forward. So that's interesting. So one, you're not going to get a short squeeze, but also you're getting no real downward pressure. It's all up. So it's still a buy from me. Let's have a look. Now, this is important. This was a month ago. I'm going to cover it. It had its worst day ever. Let's see what this was about.
First, ARM's up almost 180%. AMD up 87. Salesforce, up about 50 or so. Snowflake was up 40-something heading into that print last night, and that's our chart of the day for what you may, understand to be obvious reasons. As you take a look at the stock here, it's down about 20%. Stephanie Lake owns this stock. She's been buying it lately. She joins us now because it's the worst day ever. At least it's on track for that, Steph. I think you're a little nervous going in and maybe a little upset coming out.
I am a little upset, but look, I think the stock, as to your point, it has rallied a lot. I only bought a small position. I know it's a volatile stock, and so I was looking to buy on weakness. This today is definitely weak, and I will be adding to it when I can. No question about it. The guide was disappointing. The CEO leaving, although he will be the chairman. The company's in the penalty box at this point in time. I get it. Maybe for the next couple of quarters. But long term, the big picture has not changed. The total addressable market for them is $248 billion. They have new products. You need data to support AI and to make AI better, and they have it. And they have, again, a whole slew of new products coming. Their bookings in the quarter is the reason why I have conviction in the long term, because bookings actually grew 33%, up from 25% sequentially. And they just signed the largest deal in the company's history, a $250 million deal for 5 years. So I'm not happy, obviously, but I am going to add because I do think the long term still makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think, Brad Gerstner of Altimeter has been tweeting a lot about it this morning. I think it's fair to say he's a little frustrated by the quarter. Obviously is still a long-term believer in the story, acknowledges the good and the bad. He would agree with you, obviously, with the as he characterizes it, massive Q4 bookings, best-in-class free cash flow margins, he cites. They do have the new CEO, Sridhar Ramaswamy, who, by the way, we visited with, may have been his first time on CNBC several months ago in our AI special out in San Francisco. So Slootman moves to chairman there. He does take issue, does Gerstner, with their comms department, maybe not articulating the story in the best way. That's my interpretation of it, certainly not his, but he thinks it's too conservative, maybe very conservative, but time will tell.
It is conservative, Scott, but I think a new CEO should be conservative. So we were expecting 30% product revenue growth. We got 22 for the full year. That's, I think, very conservative considering what they have been putting up as of late. But I do think you have a new CEO who's trying to get at the lay of the land. They actually had 2 disappointing quarters last year, and they are trying to avoid that. Consistency matters. And so, okay, let's just slash the numbers and let's see what happens. And again, having these new deals, having these new products, I think makes a lot of sense and gives them momentum for the long term. And yeah, free cash flow margins are actually going to be for 2025, for fiscal 25 rather. I think they're actually going to be a little bit better than expected. The guidance actually is a little bit better than expected. And so they have to spend a lot this year. We have to wait and see on the demand side. But I really do think this is a great player in the long term.
Steph, thanks for making time for us today. Really important to hear from you on the other side of these earnings.
There you go. So there's the thoughts there. So that's what I'm just said. This is a volatile stock. And what you're doing is if you have say $1,000 and you buy a couple $100 now, you don't go all in. This lady here was able to then buy more on a dip. She's frustrated, but I wouldn't be frustrated and I wouldn't be surprised. That's how this stock trades. She bought it thinking, oh, it's just going to keep going up. I never think that. I never expect anything. I'm always expecting the worst, but prepare for the best. So, I'm going to allocate this. You can see it's a volatile stock. She said that right at the beginning. So what I'm doing, if I'm buying this, if I was buying this, and I would say now it is a buy, I would wait for, I would just put some of my money in and wait for those moments. And if you don't get a drop and it runs away, so what? What you've allocated is going to go up, right? That doesn't matter. Don't get greedy. And this person here was able to then buy the dip, and that's great because they got money on standby to do it. So don't go all in and then got no money to. This stock does trade with volatility. I can see it doing well in a few years' time, so don't go all in. There will be moments like this. So I can agree. I think that explains that. Anyway, not the last 90 days. It's neutral news. Not that much to say about it, really. Last 30 days, more neutral news. Last 7 days. That's unusual. I don't normally see that. I normally see a bit of neutral, positive or negative. This is just neutral, sideways sort of sentiment. Okay. Be interesting to see when my video comes out how this ranks on Google and YouTube. Anyway, there's my thoughts. I'm going to give it my final thoughts now. What do you think? For me, this looks quite good. I like it. It's a sort of company that I like. It's a sort of thing that I like. But now is not a bad time to buy it. I think you've got that. Nice. You can see why she bought it in around here. This is kind of sort of building a bottom, if you like, a stable platform here, and now is not a bad time to buy it. But I wouldn't go all in. If I had $1,000, I'd say I'd put $800 in. $200 in, keep the other 800. Every couple of percent, buy a bit more, and then if it drops 10%, then the remainder of the money, and then I'm in, and I'm done, and then I can just sit back and watch it grow. And I think it will over the next couple of years. I quite like that. I think that's all right. So I'm going to give this a buy. This was requested by, who was it requested by? It was requested by Robbie Cooper and Stacey Bailey. I like it. This is one for me. Of course, hypothetically, I'd buy it. I only own the S&P because I don't want to be impartial and own stuff and pump stuff. I only own the S&P, period. That's it. But for me, I would be interested in buying this and in the way I've said. So it's a buy from me with a spread allocation, not go all in at once. And then you'd be just like this lady here without being upset and surprised, because a dip wouldn't surprise me. But I don't think there's much more of a dip to come now. You're near the bottom if we look at the history of it. But that doesn't mean to say that we're not going to get lower lows going forward. But there you go. That's my thoughts. Click above my head for more links. Down below in the description, you'll find the links to my software. You can go and check it all out. My members can use a free version of it or a paid version of it. It's entirely up to you. And over here, I'll put more reviews as well. There you go. I've reviewed about 130 stocks now, I believe. God, can you believe it? Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. All right, Snowflake, that was for you. How do you do? Martin, are you thinking of? You are thinking of Vivek. Yeah, I mean the name. I thought that name sounds familiar. Yeah, probably. I agree. Every decision is a personal one, but I can see many people being misled or having false hope by the outputs from such tools. They do. That's you're right, MSK. That's why I present the overall thing. Just saying you should buy a stock because Morningstar give it a buy rating is wrong. Just because there's an intrinsic value which says it's undervalued is wrong. You've got to use all the tools, and even then, that doesn't guarantee any particular outcome. So anyway. You're absolutely right. It can be misleading if you are looking at a basic picture and thinking, right, I'm going to buy it because of one metric or two metrics. I absolutely agree. My indicators tell me it will touch 130 before going up. There you go. That's why I just said Iberian Wolf. That I wouldn't. But again, your indicators aren't facts. They're just guesses, using past experience, past charts. But again, that's why I said I would go 200 in and then see what happens from there. Anyway, there is my thoughts on Snowflake. I hope that was of help. That'll be out later on. Please go check it out now. Alpha spread, best case, intrinsic value, 1150. Well, that makes sense though, Raman. That makes sense why it says that, because the company has gone to sleep. Their orders and their balance sheet and their debts and everything else haven't changed. But their macro conditions, their sentiment, the belief of the shareholder. I mean, everyone's dumped the stock. It doesn't mean to say the valuation's gone down. You can say that the intrinsic value can be whatever you want. You can say, you can say that Fisker's worth $10,000. I mean, we've had Cathie Wood for years saying that that Tesla is a $4,000 stock, even $6,000. Cathie Wood has been saying that. So, and yet here we are at 180. Admittedly, that was before the split, so we'll be talking about 600 now, something like that. But you can see what I'm saying. An intrinsic value is one thing. The actual price of the stock on the day is very, very different. Very different. You're thinking about, yes, who dropped his campaign for president. Am I? I don't know. Okay, worst case, $240. Haha, sheer majors, thanks. Raman, if that's... Oh, by the way, if anyone ever wants me to question any figures. I have a direct line with the CEO of Alpha Spread, and I'm more than happy to ask the question how the system calculates anything and have the full data to present to you. That might take some time, but I'm happy to do that. And I've done that on a few occasions, and I've been happy with the results. So yeah, you won't be able to do that. You won't be able to do that anywhere else. I will actually, all the numbers that you read, even Bloomberg, CNBC, Mad Money, Jim Cramer, anywhere you like. Yahoo Finance, Google, they're giving you numbers. Very rarely, never are they going to show you the algorithm and how they come to those numbers. Well, I am prepared to do that for my members, challenge things and find out how you came to those numbers. But I've done it before, and I've been happy with the answers, hence why I still use it. If I thought it was all make-believe, I certainly wouldn't do it, would I? MSK, take a look at yourself. Take a look for yourself on Alpha Spread. Martin, Sridhar Ramaswamy led Google advertisement. That's right. I've covered the earnings, haven't I, with Google many times. I knew there was a name there somewhere. Thank you. Got it now. Base case is 614. He ran for president on the Republican ticket. MSK, if you see this now, you cannot use Alpha Spread to select shares that you want to. But if you see this now, you cannot use Alpha Spread to select shares. Raman, you're not being very helpful. I've tried to explain how that intrinsic valuation works, and there's nothing wrong with that intrinsic value. The way it's done makes sense. If you're only using it, that's like you at play school going to kindergarten, going 2 bricks, 2 yellow bricks plus 2 red bricks equals 4 bricks. 2 of yellow and 2 of red, and thinking you are now a rocket scientist. No, it's a factual number, but it doesn't mean to say that that you're now a rocket scientist and you're going to take on Elon Musk. Raman, you're not being very useful saying that the whole thing is rubbish. It's absolutely not. It's used all around the world by millions of people to be very, very useful, and I use it myself, and I wouldn't use it if I didn't think it was a good idea. So, Raman, do you have a better way of working out an intrinsic value? Because if you are going to say something is rubbish, then you have to know why it's rubbish and be able to say what you would do differently. So can you do that? Can you present me with a intrinsic value of Fisker, or are you going to just say, well, it's only worth 2 cents a share, so it's worth 20 quid? Well, that doesn't mean anything. That's just the price that people are prepared to pay for the stock. That doesn't give any value of the business at all. So I hope that wouldn't be your business model. Anyway, I'd like to hear your response to that. Can you please cover ACB? Love your videos and live streams. New main. I can, but it's a membership perk, I'm afraid. If you want to have a review done, you have to be a member of our channel. This is how you become a member. I can't do it for everybody that comes in. I would be working 1 million hours a week, never sleep or anything else. I already work 12 hours a day. Anyway. Raman, I will stick to the descriptive analytics on there rather than any predictives. You've got to use both. But again, a prediction is not a guarantee of anything anyway. I use 7 to 8 different sources to make my analytics on what to buy. That's very wise, Raman. Very, very wise. However, though, I wouldn't overcomplicate things. This is why I like Alpha Spread, because it's all concise in one place. And remember, I'm not sponsored by them. They're not paying me to tell you it's great. I just believe it works for me, and this is why I share it with you. But if you overcomplicate things, you end up making bad decisions because you don't know what to do. Good action is better than no action, and certainly better than confused action. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. There you go, Raman. MSK, very wise. I'm the same. Indicators from trading 212 and another 2 indicators on trading view. Martin, red and yellow makes orange. So now you have 4 orange bricks. I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that. This is where you got to use rational thinking. If I said to you, I have 2 tins of red paint and 2 tins of blue paint, and now I have 4 tins of yellow, then you might have a point. Or whatever it might be, okay? But if you have 2 red bricks and 2 yellow bricks, you have 4 bricks, 2 of which are yellow and 2 of which are red. The colors never mix, did they? Because it's not paint, it's not dissolvable. They're 2 bricks, they don't change color. So there you go. You've got to think out the box here, mate. Anyway, on an iPhone, hang on a minute. The worth of everything is what the fool is willing to pay for it. The worth of everything is what the fool is willing to pay for it. That's a very good point. The only thing is, the reason why intrinsic values or any valuation is important is because, yes, it's true to say the stock price will trade where it trades, and if no one wants to buy it and everyone wants to dump it, it can go below valuation. Is I'm looking for a company with a good valuation, a company with a value that is exceeding its price. In other words, it earns money. That doesn't mean to say it's going to always earn money. Doesn't mean to say the price is going to go up because it earns money. We have seen earnings. We have seen earnings beat and stocks go down. We've seen stocks have a miss and go up. There's more to it than that. I think it's like a weather forecast. Each meteorologist institute uses its own prediction model, maybe the same data, but different models and different. And sometimes the forecast varies. Am I right? Or talking bananas? Vaz, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. I think all meteorologists around the world are their own meteorologists, but they draw from the pool of global information. I mean, if you've got, if you're a meteorologist, say in Dallas here, and you want to know what the weather is in England, you're not going to get on a plane and go and stick your finger out the window and go, oh yeah, it's blowing an easterly wind, are you? You're going to use the data provided from London sent back to you, and you're going to analyze it and look at it. You're not going to do everything from scratch. We all share the same data, and then we interpret it and we put our opinions on it and all the rest of it. But at the end of the day, we all draw from the same pool of basic information. What you do with that information is entirely up to you. Thanks. Looking forward to being a member. Cheers. Even the lowest tier gets to know your opinion on. Yes, New Main. Oh, by the way, if you're going to be a member, you want to be a member like imminently, because we're about to release a product for members one time only. It will never be repeated again in history, ever. Not in 10, 20, 50 years. It's a one-time thing, and only members are going to know about it, and that's it. Once it's done, it's a special gift to my founder members, the members who built the channel as we approach our 3rd anniversary. We passed 20,000 subscribers. We got a really big thing to celebrate, and all the members are going to know about it before everybody else, and everybody else will miss it completely. It'll never be repeated again. It's a moment in history that'll only ever happen once. But you're affiliated with AS, so you would get referral commission if someone subscribed with Alpha Spread. So if you would get a referral, someone subscribes through your link to Mr. B Canal. I want to explain this properly. It's very, very important. I want you to understand. I am not trying to promote Alpha Spread. Couldn't care less. I am not trying to sell you any plans. Let me tell you exactly. When I spoke to the CEO of Alpha Spread, it started off by I wanted to bring the best service to my members, the best deal to my members, not how much money I could get. They do not pay me any money. They don't sponsor me. They don't promote. They don't pay me. What they do, however, full disclosure, is if you click on my link, you can use their software for free. I give you the reviews for free. They don't pay me to make the videos. They don't pay me to make referrals, any of the review videos. And you can see my videos and use the software for free. However, if you decide to get the premium service, S
has become a member.
Thank you very much indeed. I'll give you all your perks and benefits in just a moment. Please just bear with me. If you decide that you want to get the premium service, then yes, I get a small commission, and it's between 15 and 20 bucks. That's what it is. One time, that's it. I get paid once, and that's it. You will then, you've got that discount forever, and you've got that service forever. I don't ever get any more money. So yeah, I do get a benefit if you decide to use the premium service. However, you can do it for free. The advantage of the premium service is you can do lots of unlimited stocks with more more capabilities. But yes, you can do it for free. And I'm not trying to sell you the program. It's free. You can use it for free. And I do all the reviews for you anyway. If I really wanted to sell it, I would ask them to pay me to make the reviews. I would ask them to pay me a fee to do the whole, to promote them, like advertise them, and I don't do that. And I would put all of the reviews behind a paywall, or I'd put it behind membership or whatever, and I don't. I give you the review, so you don't even need the software. But if you do and you pay for it, it's only right that they give me a little bit for it. So that's the full explanation. I hope that makes sense. And also, I want it to be the right software as well. When I spoke to them, it was the right software to use. I'm now in conversation with Alpha, and I've forgotten the name again. Alpha, what's it called? They're based in America. Another company, Alpha. Someone told me this morning. Could someone remind me? Not Alpha Spread. What's it called? Seeking Alpha. Seeking Alpha. That's right. Seeking Alpha. Seeking Alpha have contacted me, not me contacting them, and want to give me a service for my viewers as well. They've contacted me, and I'm meeting them on Monday. And this is all part of the new membership. Seeking Alpha. Thank you, Mike. And they are giving me something so my members get a better deal as well. So anyway, and I will compare. And if Seeking Alpha is better and I can get a better service for my members, then there you go. We'll see what happens. But I'm always looking for the best service, not what's best for me. What's best for me is what's best for you. A predictive model is, for the most part, the best educated guess based on various factors. That's very, very true. Use TradingView. TradingView have also contacted me as well. But I don't like how much they charge to the viewers. I heard from your side, SNDL looks and the best, and I understand. You see and read others saying ACB is the market leader. I do see the figures and financial statements, and I agree, SNDL looks good or better. That's right. That's right. And again, at New Main, when I presented that information on that review, no one is paying me to say SNDL is better or whatever. I presented it and did it live. Did you watch the whole of that? I'd be interested to know. Did you watch the whole of that? I put out a 1-hour video, a very, very, very comprehensive video. Probably my most comprehensive video for the cannabis sector I've ever done. There it is. That one there. Did you watch that? Not the live video, but the actual video that came out. Did you watch this? I think this was my most comprehensive video I've ever done for the cannabis sector. And this really lays it all out. It's an hour-long video. Let me give it to you there in the chat. There you go. I'll put it in the chat 3 times so it stands out. I'll give it to my Rumble audience as well. There you go. Yeah. Anyway. Iberian Wolf, Piers Corbyn for weather. It's a funny fella. With AI now, how do you believe anything what you read? Well, that's true. That's a very good point, Iberian. But to colour a blind man, you just have to have 4 bricks. It all depends. To an electrician, it's 4 bricks. To a construction worker, it's the beginning of a castle. I like it. Became a member. Welcome in S. Can everybody welcome S, please? Sebastian. I like now there's someone thinks outside the box. I use my 3 reviews, my 3 free reviews every week. Fantastic. Great. By the way, I am S. I have joined New Main. Thank you, New Main. So, a worst case intrinsic value of a 240 Fiscal at this point is like a weather forecast of a sandstorm in London. If it's that outrageous, don't report it. Is my point. Well, I'll tell you why I report it, MSK. I'll tell you why. I love our backwards and forwards banter. The reason why I report it is it's what my viewers want to see. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. You know, I only buy the S&P. So don't do as I say, do as I do. I only buy the S&P. That doesn't mean to say I can't report on Fisker. Is Fisker a better investment for me? Well, no, because if it was, I'd be doing it, right? I'm buying the S&P. I'm not trying to say Fisker is the best investment. What I'm trying to do is share the information that my viewers want to see. There are people here like yourself who have bought Fisker and traded it and made money from it and so on and so forth. I am absolutely 100% certain that if I made a channel based upon buying the S&P 500 and doing absolutely nothing else and sitting on it for 20 years, it wouldn't be a very popular channel. No one would care. No one would care, no one would watch, no one would be interested. If you want to know about Fisker and Nikola and all of these things, I'm reporting on it. Now, that doesn't mean to say I think it's all a load of rubbish and it can't make any money on it, because I was talking to one of our viewers this morning who made, 20% on Fisker today. I haven't made 20% today. He's made more money than me. But it's not right for me to be in Fisker because of what I do on the channel. But that's not to say it's not right for you. And it's certainly right for my investors. Certainly right to talk about the stocks that my viewers want to see. That's exactly the same as you turn on the news channel and they're providing you with the news. They're not going, do you know what? I'm bored with the news. I'm going to do the music channel today on the news. And people tune in for the news because the producer thinks music's better. I'm going to play my guitar like Ricky Gervais and sit around singing songs. Everybody loves me when I play guitar. No, we've come for the news. You know, people come for what they come for, and I measure what people come for, and I provide what people want. And that's it. And that's it. So simple as that. If I didn't report on any stock that was doing badly, I wouldn't report on any stock. If I only reported on good news about anything, we'd have no channel. I mean, nearly every single item on the news is bad news. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. And I'll prove that to you right now. Here's Sky News. This is my Sky News app right now. We've got people blowing up those poor aid workers in Israel. We've got wars in Israel. We've got earthquakes. We've got a Tory MP resigns. He's in trouble. We've got Sacha Baron Cohen gets divorced. He's not getting married. He's getting divorced. Britain, who knows the world's oldest living man, reveals secret to long life. Good news. Good news. There you go. 1 out of 5. 1 out of 5. Okay. What else have we got? Human torso. Bad news. Arsenal footballer says would fight in Ukraine if called up. Bad news. Madeleine McCann missing. Bad news. WhatsApp tips for social media monitoring to online security advice given to MPs. Probably neutral news, right? Streaming platform copies Netflix crackdown on password sharing. Bad news. MP's apology over the dating app incident. Bad news. But I mean, I think I've made the point, right? Beyonce marks UK's milestone with new country album. Good news for my channel. We're talking about Levi jeans. Bad news. Bad news. Bad news. Bad news. I think I've made the point, right? The point is, bad news is what people tune in for. I'd much rather talk about this. I'd much rather talk about this. The little fellas. Would anyone tune into this every day? Probably would. What about the fish? It's a little seahorse. Can we sit and watch this all day long? What about Captain Nemo? Can we sit and watch this? I think this is good. I'd watch this all day. There's his matelet. What about the little kittens? Yeah. Meow. Hello. What? Am I on the telly? Yeah. Is this Martyn Lucas Investor? Yeah. Ooh, I've heard about this channel. It's good, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's great here. We love it here on this channel. You get my point? I think people would unmember that. They'd switch off. All right. I'm just saying, you got to give people what they want. Let's have a look. I am in my first year degree. And Raman, I just want to make a little point here, Raman. I don't know if you agree with me or not, right? You know, you keep saying that Alpha Spread's rubbish and TradingView's the best. TradingView, there are YouTube channels that do nothing but TradingView, and yet you're a member and you watch the channel that does Alpha Spread. I'm just saying. You're saying that TradingView's better and the what I use is rubbish, but you're watching and you remember. You could go and watch the TradingView YouTube channel. Or Yahoo Finance. They've got a finance. You could watch that. See, but you're not. Ask yourself why. I'll let you think on that one. I am in my first year degree studying accountancy and finance. It's interesting learning and making income statement, debt, equity, trade, payable, net, gross profit, investing, trading since 5 years now. Congratulations, new main. The bell's going in 3, 2, 1. There you go. The bell has gone. Fantastic. And it's ended up very nicely indeed. This is my portfolio. Ended at $74,887. Started with $5,000. Very nice indeed. Look at that. Absolutely brilliant. I bought $2,000 worth of the S&P yesterday when it went down. I posted it before I did it, as I always do, on X, announced it to the world so you could see I was doing it before I did it and why I did it. And guess what? It's gone up exactly like I thought. Brilliant. Can you get us the Financial Times for free? Would be nice. I'll work on it. New main. Why not join ACCA straight up? Why not join ACCA? Why not join ACCA straight up? Seeking Alpha. Seeking Alpha, that's right. You are one of the new real finance people here. I did watch the full 1 hour video. There was less covered about ACB. Can I get your current views on ACB? I'm proud, happy member now. Wonderful stuff. Yes, I can. Let me explain to you all your benefits now. I love our back and forth banter. Discourse too. It adds a bit of spice in the channel. Love it. It's fire. I like when Martyn roasts ramen time to time. Intellectual spice, we love it. But Martyn knows well enough that TradingView is better. He just thinks they charge too much. But yes, it costs money to make money. It does, but I don't think it's a good deal for my members right now. When I get a bit bigger, they will contact me, as did Seeking Alpha, and they will say, "Oi, you, we want to give a deal to your members." Well, you didn't do it when we were 20,000. Why are you doing it now we're 1 million? Well, Right. Well, what deal have you got for my members? It's got to be better than they can get already. Well, if I don't get the best deal, I don't do it. Simple as that. Because it's got to be for my members. Well, we'll pay you a referral. I don't care about the referral. How much do my members get? That's what I say. That is a little bit between the lines, by the way, how I've got Asti back on the show. I won't tell you too much about it just yet, but I will tell you all of it soon. Remember Asti? They cancelled twice. And I went, I'm sick of this. This isn't going to happen anymore. That's it. I'm going to charge now. And they came back to me. And they want to be on the show. Got to know your value. Got to know your worth, right? Okay. I'll leave that with you for a minute. Oh no, Martin, the news feeds of negative news because it sells more than good news. Yeah, sadly, it does sell. Yeah, people are more interested in bad news. But I'm aware of ACCA. My degree gives me double degree in accounting, financing too. The little fellas. Yay, the little fellas. Bloody hell. Right, Bell. Right, okay. Day trader. Right, hang on a minute. Let me get to the bottom of here. Rubbish and on the verge of bankruptcy. I stay here because I like hearing people's opinions about stocks. I'm not here to follow everything that is said. I hope not. I hope, Raman, that you do your own analysis. Flipping heck, I certainly hope. I hope you do. Oh my God, if you followed anybody here, doesn't matter who you followed, it would be the worst thing to do because you wouldn't know why you were following them. You'll always lose. Good work with Asti, Martin. Yep. Anyway, right. I'll tell you all about that nearer the time. Anyway, we've got to end the show. I've got to speak to New Main. Hang on a minute. New Main. You've hang on a minute. New Main. We've got a bit of an issue here. New Main, you have become a member on S. Okay, let me explain how this works. I'm about to give you all your perks and benefits. If you use a different account, it appears to me that you've come in now as New Main, not 2. When we do members only videos, members only live chats, all the perks and the benefits, you won't get them on this account. You have to be on the account that you're on the account with. That makes sense? If you've got another channel and you become a member on another channel, you're not going to get any of the benefits on this channel. All right? Just saying. I just want you to know. All right? We won't recognize you as a member. That's what your badge is for. See your badge next to your name? New Main doesn't have a badge now. All right? Now, anyway. Fusion. Great work, Martin. Could you do a complete detail video? I can, but I can't do it for you, Fusion. You're not a member of the channel. Members get the videos made. If I did it for everybody I asked, I would never sleep again. I already work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. I can't make videos for as much as I'd love to, Fusion. I can only make members videos for the members. Right. New Main 2. Whichever channel you're going to be, I've got to give you this video. All right? Please go and watch this. These are all the hows, the whys, the wherefores about your membership. I can't explain all the perks. It will take me 10 minutes. There are many, many things, but it's all explained in this complete, concise video. Watch it all the way through. There are no ads on that video. It's just a video to give you information. It's not to make me money. It's for you to watch. So you know, it'll tell you how to get on Discord, how to be a researcher, how to get your birthday celebration, how to request a song in the concert tonight, every Friday night. Many, many perks and benefits. Many, many perks. Go and watch that. Okay. Have you learned change is gonna come yet? No, I haven't, but I'm doing it this weekend. I am taking Saturday and Sunday off from being off to catch up with some reviews, and I've got some special stuff coming out. I can't tell you much about it at the moment, but yes, I am doing your song this weekend. That is a promise. Like I promised today, Stacey, her review would be done, and it is. So, yeah. Before I finish on that subject, who was the person who made it famous? Which version was it? MSK. Change is going to come. Which is the singer? Which version is it that you wanted? Was it Sam Cooke? Was it Sam Cooke? Just remind me. And that's the one I'm going to look at. So just remind me. I will do it this weekend. So there you go. Okay. Can I say which one, or will we do that next week? Raman. Martyn, I also want to say something about a potential gun from a stock, about a potential gun from a stock that no one has talked about yet. It's already up 114% since last week. Can I say which one? Oh, please do. Please do. I totally see what you mean, Martyn. I did on my old account, it linked here. Strangely, that instead says subscribe only mode in chat, and I cannot even chat there. Whereas new man, that's because you didn't subscribe. It is a subscriber only chat. It's a subscriber. I thought it was Sam Cooke. Yeah, it's a subscriber only chat. You have to subscribe. It's because you didn't subscribe. If you subscribed, it sounds really silly, doesn't it? You're taking the piss out of me, aren't you? Well, I am, yeah. I am taking the piss. I am. It says it's a subscriber only mode, so guess what you do? You subscribe. I mean, that's it. If you subscribe, it works. I don't know what else to say to that. I'll leave that with you. Anyway. I will hold you to that. You can. Led Zeppelin. No, it's not. What's going on with SMX review? Kevin B. SMX review. I've just done another review a few moments ago for Stacey and Robbie Cooper. SMX, Kevin B. I'm trying to do these this weekend. You are third on the list. You got bumped down, Kevin B, because people paid. They gave me bigger super chats, and that's how it works. So as you know, because you've done it to others as well. So yes, it got bumped down. You were next to several times. But anyway, I think that covers that. Mike, the immigrant song comes to mind. Trio Petroleum. Okay. Let's try and have a look at it. I'm going to hopefully get all these reviews done this weekend. I subscribed, Martyn. You saw the notification. Oh, yes. I see. I subscribed in this account, but not in the YouTube account, in the S membership account. I will be there now. Flipping heck. Oh, my God. This is hard work, isn't it? This is hard work. Very hard work, this is. Anyway. Stacey Bailey has sent me a picture. What have we got here? You've sent me a picture of a horse. What's all this about? What am I supposed to do with this? What is that? Stacey Bailey sent me a picture of a horse's hair. I don't know what am I supposed to do with that, Stacey Bailey? I don't know what to do about it. I don't even know. I can't even make a silly comment. What do I say? Stacey Bailey sent me a picture of an animal with some hair on the floor. All right. So if what do I comment with this? It's very nice. It's a very nice picture of someone's knees. Is that your knees with the hair? A horse earring ML leggings. A horse a horse wearing Martyn Lucas leggings. I don't see that. To be honest, I don't see that. Maybe I'm just looking at it in the wrong way. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe I just can't see it. What do they say? It's in the eye of the beholder. It's in the eye of the beholder. And maybe I just don't see it. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. What do I make of that? I don't know. Brushing my mini pony with my daughter while listening to the show. Oh, you're listening to the show. Hang on then. Brushing my mini pony with my daughter while listening to the show. Okay, now I've got it. I should have read it. Okay, so here we go. Hello, daughter of Stacey Bailey. I don't know your name because your mum didn't tell me. And I'm calling you today all the way from Dallas, Texas. And if I do a deep voice like that, it sounds good, right? Do you like that? This is my Radio 2, Bob Harris on Radio 2. Anyway, that's not really me. That's me being silly. This is really me. I'm talking to you today from Dallas, Texas. You are somewhere in the world, I believe Michigan. I believe Michigan is a very nice place. Michigan with a very, very hairy horse, at least it was, before you trimmed it off. So if your mum's nice, what she'll do right now is she'll put in the chat what your name is, because it's very rude to come on live on the telly around the world to 58 countries in 14 languages and not say who your daughter is. Just, it's my daughter, right? So hello, daughter. Let's see. Oh, hang on. Now, Stacey Bailey is in the chat. I'll come back to that in a minute. Lovely to meet you. Love the horse. Love the whole thing. I should have read it first before I started taking the mick out of it. Because I mean, you got to realize, here I am in my studio talking to the world, and all I get is there's a picture in Discord. I go in Discord, and what do I see? I see a horse with some hair on the floor. I mean, what am I supposed to do with that? I didn't know that you were listening to me, did I? How did I know? Anyway, now you know. Now you know what I know, and now we know as much as each other. Moving along. Stacey's, hang on a minute. I've got some comments coming in now. How can I say which one I will do for next week? How can I say which one, or will we do that next week? I can't, I at the moment, I would love to say, let's book it in and do a review on it, Raman. I've got too many at the moment. I have to catch up over the weekend. I can't do any more reviews at the moment. If I take your super chat, I can't. I've got to do the ones I've already got. It's Joanna. There's a song called Joanna. Joanna. Something like that. I don't know who sings it. Someone sings it. Anyway, it's called Joanna. Thanks, Martyn Lucas Investor. I will hold you to that. Yes, you can. Led Zeppelin, Sam Cooke. I knew it was Sam Cooke. What's going on, my MXX? I answered that one. Trio, we discussed that. Yada yada ding dong, Vaz. Yes, but it's you know what comes first. And yada yada ding dong, you never gave me the name who made it famous. I've been asking you now for 2 weeks. Yada yada ding dong. Right? What is the name of the artist that made it famous? I need to know. Yada, hang on, say it again. Ya ding dong. I love all this. You got to give me the name of the singer. I subscribe, Martin, there you go. Oh, yes, I see. A horse wearing leggings. Yes, that's that's his womanizer voice. Is that what it is? Hello. It's not really, is it? It's more like a crazy man. Hello. I mean, you wouldn't go on a date with a man like that, would you? Hello. I mean, you wouldn't, would you? Here I am. Let's go. New Maine. What's your thoughts on ACB? And I am trying to self-study about EBITDA, a company valuation on my own soon too. And what's your thoughts on options? Options, I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I don't do it. I've got to wrap up the show. We're running out of time. We're way over time. I've talked too long. I love that song, Joanna. Yeah, it's a good song, isn't it? Listen, all seriousness, we're getting carried away here. I've got to end the show. My music concert starts in a minute. What you need to do is what? What I want you to do. I want you to go and watch this video here, all about the things that you get for your membership, okay? And I will resend on Discord. Vaz, thank you very much. Please do. What was I going to say? I just saw Stacey's comment. I'm not reading it out. It's very rude. Can't read it out. A bloody wig indeed. I like my hair. This is not this is a lifestyle choice. This is, folks. I can't take any reviews at the moment until next week. I've got too many to catch up on. But now as a member, what you can do, you can get a review. It's free. However, there are too many at the moment on the free list. So I can't add any to the free list. If you want a review done, like you saw me do one at the beginning of today's show, I did 2 this morning, 1 this evening, or whatever it was. I try and do 1 or 2 a day, every day. You super chat to jump up the list to get it done. That's the only way I can do it right now. However, I can't take your money even if you give me $1,000 super chat. In fact, you can't do that. The highest you can do is 500. Even if you do 500, I can't do a review until the early part of next week because I've got too many to do already. So tune in next week. I'll get down the list. If you want to once I announce it that I'm taking reviews again, you can super chat and I'll book it in. All right. That's the best I can do. All right. I can't do no more than that. Listen to the show. You could make a wig. I do not want a wig. I am fine as I am. There you go. Look for next Patron this weekend. Still new on the market, but really a lot of potential. Raman, I will do my best, but remind me next week, please. I find that option trading is very complex, but very effective with the right trade. I'm going to answer this very, very quickly because you are a member of my channel now, even though I don't have to. There's no rule saying I have to. Do I know the winds have changed? Yes, John Grandfort, Scorpions. I can do a very good one. Cool in the gang. That's it. Joanna. Yes. By the way, I only do SPY options. Okay, let me just answer this. I've got to go. We've got the music concert coming up in a few minutes. And by the way, you have now got a song request in the concert in a minute in my studio behind me on the music channel. Come and join me for your free song. You don't need to tip me because you've just become a member. Right, let me tell you, Steve, just between me and you, right, and nobody else, very, very quickly, why I don't do options. Why? And I'll make it really, really simple. I've scalp traded, I've long-term invested, I've swung trade, I've day traded, I've done it all, okay? Right now, though, I've got a different agenda to everybody else. My priority is you and the audience, but it also is to grow my portfolio to $1 million within the next 12 years, which is now down to 11 years, by the way, which is great. All from $5,000, which is great. So I've got a different structure to most people. My priority is building the channel, investing in myself, building the show, and then investing all the money I make into buying the S&P. So I'm impartial, unbiased, and I can be trusted. All my information is genuine, right? That's what it's all about. Contracts and options, buying the shares outright or buying options. The way I look at it is this, and I'm not the expert at this, that we've got other people who can explain this. Ed Nevius, for one, Ed Nevius is will explain in Discord in his channel on Discord, which you can access if you watch that video. It'll tell you how to do that, and he'll tell you more about options. I understand it to a certain degree, but I'm not an expert at it. But I don't use it. It's not for me, and I'll tell you why. If I want to, I buy companies like Warren Buffett. I like to own companies. I don't like to spend in them. I like you to spend in them, the customer. I like to own the company. It's just the way I am, right? And I want to actually own the companies. I don't buy share prices. I don't buy stock prices. I buy companies, pieces of companies. If I could buy the whole company, I'd love to. If I could own the whole of Amazon and the whole of Coca-Cola and the whole of Apple, I would, but I can't. So I have to buy shares. So what I do, think of the pie like this, a big pie. I buy a piece of the pie. I buy a piece of the pie, which are my shares, and I actually own those because I don't look at the price, even though I try to get the best price. I don't look at the price or the shares. I look at the company. I own the company, and that's it. I don't worry about. The price and the stocks and all the rest of it, the shorts, none of that stuff. I own a piece of the company because I expect that company to be bigger in the future. That's it. Very simple. And I've come to that calculation by looking at the balance sheets and everything else, right? Okay. Now, that's the model of buying the business by buying the shares directly, just paying for the shares. However, if I buy options, I'm looking to trade. I'm looking to enter the market, exit the market, whatever. I don't want to exit the market. I want to own and hold it for 20 years, right? If I'm doing an options, I have to be a bit like a magician. I've got to predict a price by a certain point in time. It's gambling. At best, it's gambling. I know people say, no, it's not. It's an investment, exactly the same. But to me, it is. It's gambling because you have to guess, you have to have an understanding of where you see a stock going by a certain price, by a certain time. And I don't like any of that stuff. It's completely unnecessary. It's stressful. I can achieve my goals just by owning the pie. And the other thing I don't like about it is it's like this. If I want to buy a house, I buy the house. Whereas someone who is buying a contract, 100 shares, which is an option, which is a contract, never actually owns the shares at the offset. They own a piece of paper. A contract gives them the obligation, gives them the option, but not the obligation to buy or sell the price. To sell the stock at a certain strike price, blah, 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 blah. Okay? But you've paid a fee to be able to do that. It's like writing a contract with your realtor or your estate agent or your attorney or your lawyer, depending if you're England or in America. You've paid someone to draw up a contract saying, if this house goes down in price, I would like the right to be able to buy it. All right? You still buy it. You've still got to buy it, but you can fix the price hoping it's going to go down, right? But you've paid for a contract. I know it's not very much, but you've paid for a piece of paper or a contract to be able to buy that price at that certain time and blah, 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 and or sell it or whatever. And for me, that's just the wrong approach. That's faffing around. It's complicated. It doesn't need to be complicated. I know I want to buy the company. I just come in and I just buy the company. I own it. Now, at the end of the day, if things go badly for you as an options trader, you end up with a contract. You either exercise it or you let it expire or whatever you do, right? You may or may not at the end of it own the actual shares. However, for me, I've actually bought the stock. I actually own the company. Yes, it might go down in price, but I don't care because I already decided if it goes down in price, I'm going to buy it at a lower price. I didn't go all in. I'm not worried if it goes down in price. In fact, if it goes down in price, that suits me because I buy more. I've got more money coming in to buy more. If it goes up, well, that's the ultimate goal. I can sell it for a profit in 20 years' time. So I win whether it goes up, down, or sideways. It doesn't matter to me long term. I own the company. I'll always own the company. Whether I put that into trust when I retire and never take the money, live on the dividends or whatever. You can't do that straight off or necessarily with a contract. A contract is for an option is for traders. It's for people who want to get in and get out and do whatever. For me, I like to buy the stock and own the stock, and that's it. Very, very simple. I think investing is very, very simple. All people overcomplicate it. What I'm looking for is a great business. I want to buy a great business that does things, solves problems, and is going to be bigger in the future than it is today. That's it. So I own it and I keep it. It's like Warren Buffett makes more money than anybody who works at Coca-Cola. He makes more money than the CEO because he owns the business. He owns the company. I mean, Don't get me wrong, the CEO probably owns the company as well. But what he earns in wages and all the rest of it, it's better just to own the company. So for me, that's why I don't bother with options. Too many gambles, too many pitfalls. And if I like the company, I just buy it. I don't have to pay the middleman any money for the obligation to buy it or sell it. That was more time than I really had. I have to move on. I've got to get ready for my concert, but I hope that answers your question a little bit. All right, I'll do more. I'll explain more when we've got more time. Anyway, let me just read this. Martyn, when you do a camera close-up, you are so right. You're getting pretty fuzzy by Friday. Yes, exactly. Remember I told you every 2 weeks, see all this? See? Yeah. Every 2 weeks. So it's, it's Leah to the rescue. Yeah. See, look. Eyebrows. I do grade 1. I do grade half, but with the little thing pushed out, so it's a bit longer on my eyebrows. And I do 5 millimeters on my head. Saturday. Yeah. So on Monday, you will see all this Mohican, because it is a Mohican. Don't confuse this. This is a Mohican. It is a Mohican. On Monday, that won't be there. It'll be the nice smoothness again, all right? I'm just saying. Right. Fuzzy by Friday. Fuzzy Fridays with the banana heads. Fuzzy every other Friday with the banana heads. Sounds like an album cover. I think we should do it. Fuzzy every second Friday. But no, you're right. It sounds better. Fuzzy Fridays with the banana heads. That sounds better. Hope everyone had a great week this week has an awesome weekend. True, Martyn. If I had 50,000 in an account, I would do 45 in long term and only allocate 5 for options, intraday trades. I totally understand your current investment view, Martyn. But I've done all these things. And bearing in mind, I started with $5,000. Worked for 1.5 years for free on my channel with no money at all. And now I'm at $74,898. And I'll be at $1 million in 11 years. It's just come down from 12 in 3 months. So we are way ahead of the schedule. And I can share that chart with you next week. The little fellas, don't touch options. It's very clear you lack the experience in capital. Stick to building a portfolio. Yes, it's very clear that you lack the experience in capital. Stick to building a portfolio at this point. Very good. It's great to end the week with your music show, Martyn. I set down the numbers and jam. Monday will come regardless. I have my request and tip in hand. Thank you, sir. Eric B, ready to go. MSK, I'm actually new considering the S&P 500 now as I lack the experience and discipline. I might split my investments, but I think you should. This is not financial advice, but you absolutely should have 50%, if not 60, 70% in the S&P, and the top is what you trade. If you do that, you'll have a much, much better mentality, a much better health, much better, a lot less stress. You'll be a lot happier, and you now own 500 of the best companies in the world, and it's the index that even the best people can't beat. Why would you not? Why would you not? But, you know, some people don't believe me. They'll just go all in on one stock like Mullen and wonder why they haven't got any money. All right. And if they win, of course, they'll tell me they know all about it and they were the expert. And I can say you could have done exactly the same if you played Russian roulette at the casino. There's always one person who's going to survive and come out and gone, I've got $1 million. You're an idiot. Well, yeah, but there's 99 people lying on the floor dead. All right. Okay. Eric, got your tip in hand. Hello. For my SPY options, it's all about last move depending on the strong fresh news. Yesterday were people doing puts. I've got to move on, guys. I'm running out of time. I can't do all these comments. I will next week. I used to know Mohegan Rough Fella. To me, Martin, you don't have to explain yourself so much. I love this channel because every time I watch, I know a little bit more. And it's not boring. The reaction is a little in delay. Sebastian, let me tell you why that is. It doesn't have to be this way, and it's your fault, not mine. Are you ready? Okay, Sebastian, last thing. Oh, my God, what the hell? Why have I gone on for so long? Right, look, let me show you. I'm always trying to help people. I've got to stop doing this. I shouldn't help people. I should just end the show and go home. Oh, I'm already home. Right, watch. Sebastian, are you watching? First of all, here's the live show on YouTube. Whether you're on a mobile or computer, is the live grey? That means you're behind the stream. Click the live. Now you're up to date. On there you are on the screen. Now you're 30 seconds behind. The reason why you're always a bit behind is because I have closed captions turned on. I can eliminate that and have it with no latency at all. But we have members in 14 countries who use the captions. So I have to be a couple of seconds behind for that to work. That's the setting I choose. Okay. However, right, click the live. Now you can come even more up to date within 10 seconds of me. Click the cogs, click the playback speed, click 2 times, and now you're within 10 seconds. So I have to be a couple of seconds behind for that to work. That's the setting I choose. Okay. However, right, click the live. Now you can come even more up to date within 10 seconds of me. Click the cogs, click the playback speed, click 2 times, and now you're within 10 seconds. So I have to be a couple of seconds behind for that to work. That's the setting I choose. Okay. However, right, more up to date within 10 seconds of me. All right. So I'll prove it to you now. If I bring myself up to date, we are completely up to date now. Completely up to date. You've done this, right? And now I'll speak and you listen to how quickly we're up to date. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is me live. And now I'll speak and you listen to how quickly we're up to date. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is me live. There you go. You're literally, and now I'll speak and you listen. You're not even 5 seconds behind. That's how you do it. So when I said to you, it's your fault. It is. It's your fault. It doesn't have to be a delay. Sort yourself out, mate. There you go. Bit of advice. You've just learned something. You didn't expect that, did you? There you go. Great show as always, Martin. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yes, Martin, I swing trade most of the time. 10% for options. That's right. Press the cog. Press the cog. It's my fault. I was batching out of work. I know. Relax, Martin. Never relax. I ain't got time to relax. Right. Out of here. This is what's going to happen. Oh, my God. Why do I do this to myself? I don't know. Right, I'm going to send everyone now to the 24-hour stream, the 12-hour stream, because I might be a few minutes late in the music show, and it's all Sebastian's fault. Everyone blame Sebastian. Copy and paste. Sebastian, it's your fault. Sebastian, it's your fault. Seb, it's your fault. You spoiled it now. You've ruined it. All right, I expect that. Okay, let me give everybody the link. This is where we're going to go. It's music time. I expect to learn every time. It's why I'm a member. I pay $2 for this. $2. I pay $2. I expect service. Right. Right. Okay. I expect to learn every time. Cheers, Sebastian. Yeah. Sorry, mate. No. Too late now. You in the doghouse. Right. I'm going to send everybody now to the 12-hour stream. I'm going to go there. I'll see you back in the music channel in a few minutes. Come and join me for the party. And there you go. You can see me setting up the music show on the 12-hour stream. It's the first time ever. The 12-hour stream is going to run while I'm setting up the music channel. But I don't know. I might carry on with it. Should I carry on with it? But you got 2 versions of the music show. Oh, yes. 2 versions of the music show. All right. Let me just check that works then. Hang on then. Let me check. 1, 2. Let me see if I can get this to work then. 1, 2. Yeah, it does. All right. So you might see it. You'll see a little bit behind the scenes. You'll see a little bit behind the scenes. All right. That's it. I'm out of here. Thank you very much. I'm learning and being careful with my swings long term. Yes. And building experience. You're welcome. You're welcome. Make sure that you go and watch this video and check it all out. Right. I'm out of here. I've talked too long. I'll see you later. Come and join me. I've got to get going. I'm going to be so late. It's ridiculous. Can I have a beer yet? Ta-ra. Oh, Sunday. Sensei Sunday. See Sensei on Sunday. That's why it's called Sunday on Sensei. Sensei on Sunday. Sunday on Sensei. Enjoy it. Now, it's time for the music. Ta-ra.